Hello and welcome to the knowledge source. So in this session we are going to discuss about the World Bank report which has been published recently, and this report has led to a controversy, and this report has led us to a thinking where we have to seriously think about the wage and the manner in which the road accidents is happening in India. So World Bank recently published a report in which it was found that India accounts for around 11% of the global death in road accident. So this is very horrifying situation for India, and this is very alarming situation for India, considering the fact that India's vehicle population and India's vehicle has only 3% of the total vehicle running in the world. So this is something a very horrifying situation, and where we have to Ministry of Road Transport and Highway has to seriously think about how to reduce the number of deaths which is happening every year related to the road accidents. So before starting this session, I would like to say that you can join through our Telegram channel and Facebook channel, whose link is being given in the description also. So recently World Bank in collaboration with the Save Life Foundation published a report, and this report name is Traffic Crash Injuries and Disabilities, the Burden on Indian Society. And this report is specifically talking about the Indian road casualties and how the road accidents is creating some chaotic environment in India, and which society of our which strata of our society is the most impacted related to the road accidents. So if you see the findings of this report is these kind of reports provides an opportunity for Indian government to develop the agencies and policies related to how to reduce the fatalities on the road accidents, and to prioritize our complete policy. And somehow if the certain policy is lacking the mechanisms, these policies has to be overall, so that the state out of technology is should be introduced, which can create an environment where the road fatalities may be reduced over the period of time. So these are the report which is very these report create an impact on the society, where societies take these kind of report very seriously. So if you see the key highlights of this report, a lot of issues has been given in this report, which is very alarming, I would say. Because first of all, improvements of such efforts towards how the after the accident happened, there should be a cash emergency care, and the protocols insurance has to be compensated. So these are the these reports are highlighting. Apart from this, there are more fatalities. This report is talking about that there are more fatalities from the road crashes among the poor families as compared to the rich families. And why this is very alarming, as we know that a lot of people who lives near the road, and these poor people are the most impacted due to the road accidents, and these poor people are the most vulnerable if any road accidents are happening, because they are somehow living on the edge of the road. So this report is also talking about that road accidents can is leading to a sharp decline in the total house income, total household income, and this has leading to the rising number of poverty, rising number of hungers. So all these are related, and they are working in synchronized manner. So as we know that when any road accidents happen, these families who are the impacted families, it has led to a 75% of the road fatalities in the poor people as compared to the rich people. So this is very alarming situation. And only a fifth and two-fifths of the truck drivers who are running the truck, they have the insurance. So this is also an alarming, because they are somehow working day out and day night on the roads. They have to live on the roads, and they have to not have any insurance. And somehow with the god's sake, if certain thing happen with their life, their families will be totally deprived of any earning, and it will lead to a hunger and the poverty trapped. So these are the some of the issues has been revealed under this report. So if you see, this is a 2018 data, but if you see the regions for the death in India, So what are the reasons? First of all, if you see 64% of the deaths in India is related to the on road, it is related to the over speeding, and 28% is related to the those people on the two wheelers who are not wearing helmets, and 16% who are not wearing the seat belts. So if you see, over speeding is the major cause of the death, then the helmets and the seat belts. So these three components, we all know that how we have to drive on the road, but somehow we neglect these things which lead to a road fatalities. So if we see, some of the major factors which lead to a road traffic crashes and injuries are, first of all, economic factors lead to a road accidents, because lot of people will have to work, they have to go to the work, and due to their poor condition, they will take the somehow they take the road because it is cheaper as compared to the metros running in the urban areas. So somehow these factors is also contributing to the road fatalities. Apart from this, if you see, the demographic factors such as age, gender, and the place of residence also matters. Like I have said earlier, and this report is also talking about that the number of people in the poor sections of death is more in road accidents as compared to the those who are richer, because they are living on the edge of the road. So somehow if any road mishaps happen on the road, they are somehow will be under the trap of the road accidents. Apart from this, land use planning is also a matter of the somehow it is creating an environment where road accidents are happening. Then mixture of vulnerable road users and high speed motorized traffic. So we are not creating an we are not planning the roads. Somehow if we need any roads, then we are try to create that road in any sections of our country. So where we have to plan accordingly, that where a road is safe and where we can, where less mishaps and road accidents can happen as compared to the those areas where these kind of accidents is happening time and again. So if we see the impact of, if we see the impact of road accidents, first of all, I would like to say that India has total of 3% of the world's vehicles, and it almost account for the 12% of the world's roads death. So you can imagine that although we have the very less number of vehicles, our percentage sharing in the death rates in the road mishaps is more as compared to any other country. So this is very alarming. World Bank also finds that if India reduces the number of deaths in from the year 2014 to 2038, it could potentially add a 14% of the GDP per capita. So this is very very good situation if India this reduce the number of deaths. Road accidents also affects the livelihood and push them into poverty cycle. I have already talked about it. And a recent study commissioned by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway is talking about the socio-economic cost of road crashes is equivalent to 0.77% of the GDP, which is very large. So if India can reduce the number of death fatalities due to the road mishaps, this can contribute to the 0.77% per year GDP growth. So these are the factors which India have to consider, and government of India has to consider to reduce the number of fatalities which is happening every day on the road. So that's it for today. Thank you as always for joining.